I'm very excited about where we are right now with having completed the debris removal process, with being at the point where all of our infrastructure is active and ready to receive new construction. It's a great moment, and it's also the moment to look at the community and the landscape and say, we lost something really significant and important, and appreciate that, but then to go, what additional beauty can we contribute through this? What additional connections and pilina can be created since we have this opportunity?
My greatest hope is to restore the habitat. And how we would do that is the possibility of just cutting the piling and removing the piling and leaving the footing.
It wasn't clearly defined in the Army Corps' scope initially. And it wasn't until the buildings themselves, the structures were gone, that we realized this is honestly a real mess that we've been left with. And it's important for the healing of the community to see the beach not be littered by the remaining pilings that were there.
It turned out that 80%, nearly majority, or nearly all the piles were easily removed just by picking them up and taking them out of their current location. But some did require being cut. And that leads us to the second and the third challenge, was the second one being maintain the structural integrity of the seawall you see behind me. So if any of the piles were adjacent to that wall and we were concerned about removing the foundation of that pile would disturb the seawall, we left that foundation there just to do no harm.
We're so grateful to the FEMA and the Army Corps for pulling that off for us. They brought in the world's best salvage team from the Navy, who did the work, and they did it with such intention and carefulness so as not to disrupt the ecosystem or the natural environment in the process, but in a way that they would pull a piling and then the beach would immediately restore itself.
Our contractor had both archaeologists and cultural monitors on site to be able to help us identify what it was that we were about to disturb, and if there was any items that had cultural significance, we left it there in place, not to disturb it.
I was really excited to see how they intentionally went out and they identified, oh, there's opihi here, we're going to collect those and place them elsewhere until the work is done, and then we can bring them back home. They were so intentional about both the wildlife that was in the vicinity and then also about the cultural narrative for the space.
This is not the whaling town. This is the town of the kingdom. So let's pay honor and tribute of those things that made Lahaina what Lahaina is and what Lahaina will always be, part of Kō Hawaiʻi Pae ʻāina.
I hope for the shoreline off of Front Street we're able to provide better and greater access, mostly for the community, so that they feel welcome, that they can come down and connect with the shoreline, that like storied surf spaces. There used to be a mooring for, originally it was the Carthaginian, and then for sailing canoes, and we've started to have conversations about having that be back. And then having that visual for the community to ground that commercial district and something super cultural and important and foundational for Lahaina.